I think we should start with the champions, Manchester City, in a game that I thought was going to be tricky for Man City, even though it was at home against a Newcastle side that we saw at St James's Park, like live in the stadium, and we were really impressed with the way that they played. And given City's midweek adventure to Athens, Greece, where they won the UEFA Super Cup against Sevilla on penalties, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva not being available, a few reasons why Man City might not quite be at their best against a strong Newcastle side, yet they still showed the class with who they put out there. And I thought a really good performance and a 1-0 victory.
It's a really interesting point, Rob, you say, because, this season again, I said to Rebecca when we were during the first game at Burnley, when we asked who's going to win the title, and I said Pep Guardiola half-time rant with Haaland tells me everything I needed to know that they're going to be the team again. And it's funny, Rob, because probably if I say the last 4 or 5 seasons, people don't tend to say why City are going to win the title. They tend to say why City aren't going to win it. So, the false nine. We've had settling Earle and Haaland in. We've had, losing players this season, the Mahrezes and the Gundoğans, those key players. We've had KDB going down with his hamstring now out for maybe 4 to 5 months. So all reasons why City are not gonna win the title. And then what City do, Rob, is play a brand of football. And here's my sort of first takeaway. The genius of Pep and the way that City play isn't reliant on any one individual. And Kevin De Bruyne is one of their great individuals, but Manchester City could win a title without Kevin De Bruyne. Right, there's my first statement. Why would I say that? Are they better with De Bruyne? Of course, with his passing ability and his assists and his football intelligence. But there's been times when Kevin De Bruyne has been injured and out for periods. There's times he's not always played. They can find another way with the dominance of football, with the disabling of the opposition, to a point where it was an interesting one for Newcastle, because we saw them live, put 5 past Villa, look intensely on top of their game, yet City dismantled them, Rob. They had 1 shot on target in the whole 90 minutes. That's what City's football can do, and that's because of the non-reliance on any one individual. Again, I'll repeat it, they're going to be the team to beat.
I don't think they are. Well, they are going to be the team to beat, Rob, but I still maintain that if De Bruyne is out for 4 or 5 months, and we'll see who comes in the remainder of the window. And I'm going against the flow here, Rob. I'm going against the flow here. And you've been proven right the last few seasons, where I've been one of those guys that's thought about, okay, City can't keep doing this. This isn't normal. This is record-breaking. To win 4 on the spin has never been done in English football, ever before. I think it's 5 teams that's won it 3 times on the spin, never 4. So again, that means something to me, and I've been proven wrong with it. But I still believe, depending who they bring in, they're missing some really important parts. That being said,
when you say bring in, Rob, what do you mean? Do you mean bring in another player?
Well, I feel that they're going to try and bring in. They're trying about Lucas Paquetá. They're talking about that might have been put on hold right now with some investigations that are going on around the West Ham player. But you've lost Gundoğan. I know Kovacic has come in and he's one player that I would definitely single out for this game. But if De Bruyne is out for 4 or 5 months, Rob, you haven't got Gundoğan, you haven't got Riyad Mahrez anymore. It looks like Bernardo Silva, who's such a key player, is going to stay at the football club. So that's really, really good. You've still got the big man up front. So I'm still, even though they were like awe-inspiring, really, I'm like, wow, the power of football, the power of the football, the power of possession, Rob, can dismantle, disable,
absolutely.
And they got the goal. I just feel like they might. I mean, listen, I know what I feel, but I've just seen something which disproves much of it, to be honest with you.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, because of how impressive it was. The only thing I would say, Rob, is there was a pretty special atmosphere in the Etihad in this game. They had the 3 trophies. And by the way, how impressive does it look when the guys come out with the FA Cup, the Premier League trophy, and the big ears. I mean, it just like wow. I just thought seeing those 3 trophies come out, it's like wow. That's a very clear image of how blimmin' good the team is, and I thought the atmosphere was great. I mean, Pep afterwards, Rob, was fired up, because he knew that it was a difficult game, and they've been at a midweek game where nobody else did. I just thought it was very impressive.
And a day when the fans play the part, but you touched on a couple of points I wanted to know. Kovacic, Rob, is a real smart, clever addition for the football. Trust him on the ball, makes good decisions, good football IQ, can burst through in midfield and make things happen. Julian Alvarez, Rob, is a player we haven't really seen the best of yet, I don't think. Might get more minutes in the scene. Bernardo Silva, you said, is staying at the football club. So I'm giving you reasons why with the Kevin De Bruyne, but I want to go to my biggest reason and my underappreciated performer of the week. And some may or may not think he's underappreciated. No KDB, but we've got PF, Phil Foden, my friend, who is arguably the best pocket player in the Premier League. No one exploits that space quite like Foden. Gets on the half turn, plays one touch, then drives forward, then makes something happen. His ability, Rob, now it's going to be a test of this young man. He's 20. I think he's 23 years of age. Yep. I just looked up 5 Premier League titles, 4 League Cups, 2 FA Cups and 1 Champions League at 23. Amazing. If he was Portuguese, Dutch, German or Spanish, we'd be absolutely raving about him. For some reason, because he's English, I don't think he quite gets the credit he deserves, Rob. Now could be his stage to be from that player who's come in, players who had moments, players who played games but not always are guaranteed. This next 3-4 months could prove to him to become main starter in the team, because Phil Foden has the quality. I'm not sure if he's got the capability yet and the maturity of a De Bruyne, but he's got the quality to step into that role, Rob, and be a game winner for Manchester City. And if Foden and Haaland can connect in the way that De Bruyne and Haaland connected, Man City ain't going to lose a step. So my underappreciated performer of the week is Phil Foden, who I thought was outstanding, Rob, in the game. Newcastle couldn't deal with him, couldn't find a spot to hold him down, and he played Haaland in 1 or 2 times. He looked hungry, looked aggressive. He's quicker, Rob, than I thought. He's got a bit of pace. He's stronger than I thought when he goes body to body with people, and he's got a real hunger and desire to score goals. He's got 78 Premier League goals already. At 23 years of age. He's going to get 150 goals in his career, Rob. He's got a real hunger to get on there. So I just wanted to know my underappreciated player of the week, and one we'll keep an eye on over the next few months, because it's okay to have one game. De Bruyne's consistency is what sets him apart from many others. Phil Foden, my underappreciated performer of the week.
Well, you know I'm going to love it, because I get it as well, by the way, because some people say, well, everybody knows about Phil Foden. Everybody knows he's a good player. But he's still underappreciated, mate. And how about being underappreciated by his gaffer? I don't see Pep. Pep doesn't. There's something about Phil Foden that Pep still has a doubt about, because he's not a regular starter like you'd expect him to be. You're not sure he's what?
I'm wondering. I'm not sure if it's doubt. I'm wondering if it's management. I'm wondering if he's managing him in a way that he keeps.
Yeah,
he's
not ready to play.
Like,
he's not ready to play.
Phil, you've got to keep showing me. You've got to keep showing me. You've got to keep showing me, Phil. You're not just going to come in my team because you're 23 and from Manchester.
Yeah, listen, we well, a couple of things. You probably saw on our television coverage, Rob, that when we're watching games, we get the ability to pick out stuff we want to talk about. And Phil Foden, from I think it was the second minute, did something. And I'm like making notes, okay, Foden potential, because we talked about it. De Bruyne, 11 assists, Premier League assists for Earle and Haaland last year. He's out the side. Who's going to step up? Phil Foden maybe going to step up. So we picked that out, and then there's another one. Guys, there's another one. There's another one. There's another one. Oh, there's a goal. There's an assist. It quickly became a story, a theme of Phil Foden's ability to go from right side of midfield to drift inside to get on the ball, and he was a thorn in the side of Newcastle all the way through. And actually, we spoke to him, Rob. I asked him afterwards. We have this. We on certain games now in the Premier League, we get a 2-way where a player pops on the headphones and a microphone, and we directly ask him questions. It's brilliant. We've done it for the last couple of seasons regularly. Yeah. And we had Phil Foden, and I said to him, the question was, okay, well done. is that about your perfect position? Do you love rolling in from the right to a number 10 position in behind a striker? And he basically said that he's played number 10 before, central, and he's played wide, but he does enjoy being high and through the middle. Because there was a little bit of talk about him playing as a number 8, a little bit further back in midfield, which means he's got to do a little bit of other things in midfield. But I loved his position. I love the fact he's smart. I'm still baffled, Rob, why Eddie Howe didn't put a man on him or bring on Longstaff or somebody to stop him. I said at halftime in the game, Rob, what they got to do, Eddie Howe, stop Foden. Just stop him, because he's going to create opportunities all the way through. So it's a good pick out. I think he is a little bit underappreciated for the talent that he's got. He's got brilliant generational talent, all around Europe. A player that's got the softest touch on the ball. When you knock a ball into Phil Foden, he's lovely, soft touch. He caresses it, brings it in, and then he's got the ability to slide in those forward players. Alvarez and Haaland did it many times. So I like the shout. Love Phil Foden as a player. And, for me, he would be in the team, Rob, in any spot there. Obviously, he's not going to play the number 9. They've got a number 9. But he's better than Jack Grealish. He's better. Well, Bernardo Silva's a tighter one, but I just love Foden being in the team because of his production. Things happen when he's in the game and getting on the ball. Brilliant young talent.
Yeah, and now he with De Bruyne missing and Gundogan gone and Mahrez gone to a certain degree, but it might be his spot, mate. It might be his time, and so as an underappreciated performer of the week, it's going to be interesting to see if he can keep that going now for the next few months until the likes of De Bruyne are back. We've talked here. I think you mentioned Akanji in the broadcast, Rob. Another one who I feel
$19 million
just fits in absolute. I mean, it's a dream buy, isn't it? It's an absolute dream buy. Can drop into that midfield role, look comfortable, can drop back. Is a good athlete, both feet. I had him, Kovacic. I tell you, didn't have a good day, Rob. Earle and Haaland didn't have a good day. Earle and Haaland looked a little bit unhappy with himself. He was chuntering a bit, and he was, things didn't quite right. His touch was off once or twice.
He's got plenty of balls.
And listen, he's going to have those days, and he got played through a number of times, made his runs, and the build-up play was good, and that sort of is another reason why I go say he can still have off days and City can still win. Some teams who rely on that centre forward, and if he doesn't score, they're not going to score goals, then you worry. But this City team can still find other ways. Little Alvarez comes up with a moment, and he's had some important goals down the track already. So a really good day for City. I thought I was a little disappointed in Newcastle, mate. I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Since the Newcastle we saw run all over Aston Villa, put 5 goals away and look sparkling on the front foot, and I know exactly why you said this will be a bit of a test for City early in the season. A Newcastle team that looked really ready, didn't get the groove going, didn't get the rhythm, couldn't stop Foden. I thought sat a little deep, didn't really press with that same level of energy that we've known, whether that was City's dominance of football or lack of confidence. But I thought it was a bit of an off day for Eddie and his team, and a little reminder of there's a gap at the top, mate. There is a gap, and Newcastle are trying to close that gap, but City are going to maintain a benchmark that's going to be high for everybody else to live with.
My thoughts on Newcastle United, Rob, with this game are pretty simple, really. We know what they're good at, right? We know with that energy, with that power, with that physicality, the running ability, they've got the fittest team. They're tremendous at that. I will say this. To get to the next level, they've got to be better with the ball. They've got to pass the ball and keep the ball better. At the top end of the game, the very top end of club football anywhere, you've got to be really good on the ball. And in moments against City, or in any great side, you've got to have the ball, Rob. We've talked about how City's football, they couldn't press. They couldn't use their physicality because City are so good with it.
No.
When Newcastle United get the ball, keep it. You got to keep the ball. To improve on what they are, you can get to a certain point. Or maybe you can. Maybe there's teams before, Rob. I'm thinking of a Mourinho, Chelsea, or some of these powerful teams that have won it before. But I don't know. I feel like Newcastle United have got to get better, possess the ball, keep the ball. Tonali keep the ball. Bruno's good at keeping the ball. Joe Ellington had a poor game, gave the ball away, some heavy touches. Other players as well. So that's where I feel like, and Eddie Howe, to be fair, Rob said it, that we got to be better. We gave the ball away too much, and then you're chasing City for long periods of time, which is tiring. So they'll come again, and it's really early season, and we're not drawing any big conclusions right now. But Newcastle, it just was for me. It's a bit obvious that. Listen, good sides against Man City that have joy of footballing teams that make them run around a little
Yeah.
bit. They don't really want to run without the ball. And Newcastle didn't do that because they gave them the ball back straight away. But no, it was a good game of football.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.